Hello, today we're going to be talking about place value, our number system. When you read a number, you read it till you get to the decimal, and then you say the word and then you will either say tenths, hundredths, or thousandths. If you live in 4th grade, you might have heard the term thousandths, but you did not really study it. This is going to be our focus in this lesson. Here's our decimal. Our place value system is set up into what we call periods. This one is named the units. Some of you may have called them families, where you have hundreds, tens, ones. Then we go over to the thousands, and this is your 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000s. We go on to the next period, are your millions. Again, they all repeat with the 1 millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. And then finally this year we will go up to the billions, which you have probably heard of before when we talk about our national debt. Numbers too big for me to keep up with. These also, we'll talk about them being fractions, but everything to the left of the decimal can be written as a whole number. Everything to the right of the decimal does change into fractions. This first place is called tenths, and we would write that over 10 as far as a fraction goes. The next decimal place is hundredths. It has that TH sound, and we would write that as a number over 100. I'll put in the variable A. And then the last one is thousandths, and we would write that as a number over 1,000. Now when we deal with money, you are used to talking about your tenths and hundredths, because that is where we have our cents, like $3.34, which you often see written this way, would be 3 and 34, and that place is the hundredths, is how we would say that. Alright, so the first spot right of the decimal, so here's your decimal. The first spot is your tenths. It is your tenths. Please do not separate it when you write it. It is one word. Sorry. It is one word when you write it. There is no space in between there. So this would be 23 and 8 tenths. This would just be 0 and 8 tenths. Read till you get to the place value. That's 1 and 1/10, and so on. Now how we write these in words, again, this would be 0 and 5 tenths, 0 and 1/10. And if you'll pause the tape here and go ahead and write these two as words using tenths. I'll pause the video. Actually, I won't, because it'll make me restart. So let me give you just a couple of minutes here, not just a minute or two, to work on this. If you need more time, pause your video here, and we will go ahead and look at this. So when we were doing these, I hope that you came up with, this would be 0 and 7 tenths. Okay, tenths is already written for you, so this would be 0 and 3 tenths. Okay, writing a whole number and a fraction, you're going to write your whole number first. So for this one, as I'll do with you as an example, this one would be 1, the decimal, and, so you write the whole number first, 1. Write the word and, because that's your decimal, don't forget that. And then I need you to write the actual, what's in the decimal place value. You have 6, and it ends in the tenths place. So you would say 1 and 6 tenths. So if you will pause the video here and do these three practice ones right there. I'll write them so maybe you can see them better. Okay, pause your video here and write those 3 out. Alright, you should have written for this one would be 3, saying the whole number. Decimal is and 8 tenths. As I look at all of these, they all will be tenths because they only go one place value to the right of the decimal. That's your tenths. So the whole number here is 2 and 9 tenths. Make sure you're saying and writing the TH sound here. And this would be 1 and 4 tenths. Okay, the same here is for extra practice if you would like to do these. And I'll also have these up on the board for you to do practice in class. But we have 12 and 5 tenths. The only difference here on this one is we have a 2-digit number and we just say 12 and 5 tenths. All of these would end in tenths. Pause the video here if you'd like to do that extra practice. Alright, so how are this written in words? Well, we need to start off with so I will have these on your quiz to do on a different link, but go ahead and look at it here. Alright, now we go to the next place value, the second spot behind the zero. This is your tenths we were just going over, and these are your hundredths. And we write these as a fraction. Tenths would be, your denominator would be whatever this number is here. Let's call this B. It would be B over 10 because this is your tenths place. Let's call this one over here N. And so whatever this digit is here, this would be, this is where it gets a little different. This is where you would put them both together, so you would have BN, which would be both digits, over, this is your hundredths place, is where it ends, would be over 100. So for example, and then of course your whole number is here. If we have the number 4 and 38, we would say 4 and 38 hundredths. We would write that as 4, and then the decimal is written as a fraction. If you need to see that again, you may pause your video or rewind it. Okay, here's some practice for you to do here. I'll do the first one, and then you can pause the video and do this. This would be 1, and this number is 32. You look at all of these together, that looks like 32. But you see it's to the right of the decimal, tenths, hundredths, so 1 and 32 hundredths. And I'm running out of room, but it has the TH. I'll do one more and see if I can get it on here. This would be 36. I'm going to write that out with digits. And 0, 3. Well, that's just 3. This place value is hundredths. What I have done is use the short word form, which means instead of writing out the word 1 or 36, I use digits. But I used and for the decimal, and I named the place value if it was tenths or hundredths. You may practice on those two if you can see them. I don't know that you can. This is 0.08. This is 12.72. Alright, and we will just do a couple of these and then we'll stop today's video. Here is our decimal. This is just, we read the numbers 0 and 3, not tenths, but hundredths. 3 hundredths, how do I write that? 3 over 100. Word form is simply, how do you say it? 3 and, again you could use the digit, 3, but we want to make sure you say hundredths with the TH. Hey, that's all for today on this part. We'll come back and review on your quiz. Thank you.